What up guys, Miles here from mpg Performance, and we're back with a beauty of a car. That is a Volkswagen Scirocco R. Highly modified, as you guys can see. Nice big induction air intake. She's been remapped. So this has been at 4 separate garages already until he finally found his way to us. They've compression test, they've coolant test. It's got a Misfire cylinder 3 and misfire detection across all cylinders. Now they have smoke tested, they've HVAC checked, they have coolant pressure test, they have done all the works. They've changed spark plugs, they've changed coil packs. The one garage team told them they need a new exhaust system and it's going to be about £1,500, but that won't fix the issue. Another garage then said, listen, we've done everything we can't figure out the issue, and we need to take the remap off it, and to take the give me 2 seconds buddy, and to take the remap off, it was going to charge £250 to take the remap off, and then hopefully be able to find the issue from there. They had the AA out doing compression tests and cylinder tests, and it's all holding 150 PSI across all 4 cylinders. So he's finally found his way to us, and we're going to go through it now, and I guarantee you we are going to find the issue with this car. Let's go. Oh look, just all nice and loosey-goosey. Goosey, loosey-goosey. Not this. Oh, this is just that. That's not even doing anything at this point. Cable tie around here, just absolutely not doing anything. Rubbing on the pipe back there. Pull it all apart, and we'll put it back together somewhat neater anyway. To the Scirocco, right, we have done a live diagnostics test, not overly giving us too much. We have listened to the injectors, we've pulled the plugs out, we changed them from, well, they were 31 and 29, so they're now sitting at 26 thousandths of a gap, so they have all been pre-gapped. She is sitting a little bit nicer, but not quite correctly. So like I said, after this car's been at multiple garages, multiple places, just doing a little tear down at everything that we can see to try and narrow out everything, making sure everything's good. And I'll show you exactly what we come across, which we think is a very good chance is going to be the problem. But even if it's not the problem, it needs to be addressed to be able to find the problem. So I'm going to show you what we just found. So taking off the air intake, which wasn't bolted down, we follow the pipe round. What we got? Oh, we got a leaky boy down there. Yeah, but what have we got up here? We've got a nice clamp. We've got no clamp. This is your manifold breather pipe that feeds back down into the turbo. Now the pipe comes across here. MAF airflow sensor sits here. Now it should be reading around about between 4 and 7 cubic centimeters of air per second on idle, and anyway up to the probably around about 14 on this, because it's been mapped on about 2,500 RPM. If it's reading somewhere around there, we know it's good, which it is. But what we're having is this manifold pressure. The manifold is building up pressure, so it releases out down through here. Turbo sucks air in from down this way, reading it from the MAF sensor of how many cubic centimeters of air per second, calculating it with the pressure from the inlet manifold, which is your MAP sensor or ambient manifold pressure sensor, and they communicate with each other. I'm having this much air come in, I've got this much air in here, to be able to calculate the load, changing your short-term fuel trim, affecting your long-term fuel trim. Okay, now with what that happens is if any air is being sucked in through here from the turbo, it's uncalculated, so it's going to misfire. Yeah, any air that's in here that's been pushed out by the ambient pressure sensor but from any air that's in here that's red from the ambient pressure, yeah, manifold pressure, is being pushed out or sucked out, but is losing out of here and leaking oil at the same time. So there's a very good chance that the fact of this clip is missing could just as well be the issue, especially when you map these R's. They are super hyper sensitive. We've got to make sure it's right, hence why we gapped the spark plugs first. So could be just as something as silly as a clip, but if it's not, ooh, that was one, but if it's not, it has to be done anyway. So let's get this pipe off, let's find the right size clip, get it pinched down, and we can go from there. And just like that, guys, no misfire. Sorted. All over the pipe at the back. Not having a Jubilee clip on. Oh, never leak. Coming from around the mass sensor. So we're back on this beautiful SCIROCCO R. It's not something you come across very often. It's a SCIROCCO R. It's a beautiful car. I was pretty sure that we were gonna crack it with the pipe. It did calm down the misfire, but it didn't fix the issue. We then proceeded with a smoke test. We found that it was leaking air through the mass sensor and the seal, so that's now been sorted. Following that, we went through a little bit more of a tear down, which I didn't record. We jumped back on the diagnostics, we went for a nice run, we cleared out the cat, we drove up and down the road, we tested the fuel pressure. Something didn't seem quite right with the fuel pressure, so got hold of through a portal from the dealership with the original file for this Volkswagen, and we did a comparisons, and through the portal obviously we had a conversation. And they literally said, listen, we're going to send you over the original file. We can literally see codes, injector codes and fuel issue codes have been deleted from this car, which I will add as a screenshot in after this video so you can see. So we now know that someone's been in here with a remap station, remapped this vehicle, had injector issue faults on this petrol, and fuel issue faults on this petrol, and a misfire issue fault on this SCIROCCO, deleted the codes out, and then sold the car. That's exactly what's happened. Just spoke to the customer. So this is not the first time this has happened. It was coming across the workshop, 3 or 4 now. I think the worst one was an M3 or the M2, sorry, comp, that they deleted the timing fault codes. So we are literally now just uploading the original file back onto this vehicle. Once that's done, we're going to go run it for around 15 miles to begin with, read the fault codes, and then we're going to run it for clear those fault codes, and then I'll just take a photo of them, then run it for another 15 mile, and then read the fault codes again and see what reappears and see what the crack is. We can then do a live data after that, but I like to get the 30 miles in after going back on stock file to begin with. Let the car like warm back up, let the car kind of act how it's going to act. It's going to think it's a brand new like file and ECU and that on there, so I want it to start behaving the way it was and the kind of codes it's going to come up with. So that's the process we're going to go down. So hopefully we start getting some bloody answers. And there we are, guys, back to the stock file, and instantly, as you can hear, she is misfiring like mad. So much worse. We're going going to go for a run, stick it back on the diagnostics and see what happens.